You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast. And this is show number 466 for the 6th of August 2023.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jane.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are we doing this week?
I'm on my summer holiday, so I'm doing really great, Jane. I just wish the weatherman had realised it was the summer holidays because it's raining. But in my heart, there is sunshine.
I was just going to say the same thing when you said summer. I'm looking at my window, and it's a Velux roof window at the moment, and I can't see much out of it because it's just wet.
Oh, you're in your little guest suite.
I'm my little guest suite. Yeah, your room when you come and stay.
Yeah. Oh, bless. I know I've been clearing out my two children that came with us when we moved, Emily and Kieran. They both had bedrooms here, and they just sort of left all their stuff with us, which was very, very nice of them. I have got, probably about £2,000 worth of Thomas the Tank Engine trains in every format possible, from wooden to metal to plastic.
So then you have a dilemma, Michelle. Are you saving them for your lovely grandson, or are you going to eBay them and get some money to spend on Disney stuff?
Well, you see, that's a really tricky one, darling, because you know I am a bit of a hoarder, and Kieran always said to me he wanted to keep them, ready for tears, for his son.
Oh.
Or daughter. We're not stereotyping here.
No.
And we've just kept them because, to be honest, you never get what you paid for. And this collection is immense. I'm not kidding. Kieran, when he was very young, wouldn't eat without all his trains lined up. He always had to have one in his hand and one in the bag, just in case he lost the one in his hand. And we have multiple of the same trains. And I wonder where he got that from.
I was just going to say that the element of hoarding and fixating on a particular theme, I can't think where it's got that influence from at all, Michelle.
You're bringing my Starbucks mugs into it, Jen.
Starbucks, Disney.
Yeah, I know.
Trash cans.
Oh, the trash cans are cute. My kids will never run out of salt and pepper shakers when I'm dead.
I'm not saying they're not cute, Michelle. I'm just highlighting one's ability to hoard and fixate.
I have been very good recently to swell the coffers for the summer holiday. I have downsized a few things to bring some fundage in to the old wallet. So
well, I think we all need to reach out to Michelle and just congratulate her on the ability to downsize, because this is a momentous occasion, people.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I'm now starting to stress about the Starbucks collection, because what do? I think there's 4 mugs available for Alaska. Do I buy these mugs costing me $80 when I know my shelving unit is full? I already have 125 of them, and my kids have all told me they don't want them when I die.
Buy a new shelving unit? That's not helpful at all, is it? Sorry, kids.
You enabler, you. Yeah, the Starbucks mugs are going to be coming up to the study, because I've been moving out bits of my collection to the 2 spare bedrooms we've now got. And my mum and my stepdad are going to be staying here while I'm on my jolly holidays. So we've been sort of like sneaking things into those rooms to sort of like spread the collection. And my poor stepdad's got the Haunted Mansion room. So he's got all the Haunted Mansion things and bat stanchions and pictures and candlesticks. So God knows what'll happen if he wakes up in the middle at night. He'll freak himself out.
So you get to Michelle's and you have a theme.
Yeah, Snow White toilet. I don't think my mother's really got a theme. I think she's just got all the Brita and the Jim Shaw ornaments in her room. And I think because her room's a bit smaller than the one I've given to my stepdad, he's got bigger collections, like All My Ears and things like that.
You never think about it, but anybody visiting a Disney fan's house must think they're walking into a completely different realm.
Yeah, I know.
We're special, aren't we?
We are. They came round the other week and they had a little walk up the staircases and looked at all the artwork and thought, yeah, I'm not into all this, are you, Mum? I don't know where I got my Disney from. It wasn't my parents. Anyway, we do have a podcast. Sorry for the digression about the things that I've been rambling on in my head over the last couple of weeks. We have some history, Jane. A little tiddly bit of history.
Yeah, just a little bit. It wasn't an awful lot happening this weekend, I have to admit. So there's nothing much for the 6th. So I looked at the 7th of August instead. 1969 we're going to go back to. I was just a couple of years old at that point. The new Haunted Mansion opened in Disneyland. Now, it opened to cast members on this day, and it only opened from 7 p.m. till midnight. It then opened to the public 2 days later. But then there was a press event on August the 11th with an official grand opening on August the 12th. Go figure.
Okay.
So I think it was probably in the days before soft openings, isn't it? So cast members got in first, and then it kind of like had like a little bit of a phased opening. But yeah, 1969, Haunted Mansion opened in Disneyland. And then I'm going to jump all the way forward to 2005. And I think anybody that's read the book Disney Wars will understand where this kind of kicks in. So there was a website called SaveDisney.com. And in 2005, it closed down permanently. Now, the website was developed for those that were concerned about the welfare of the Walt Disney Company and its future direction. It was used by Roy E. Disney and Stanley Gold as like a central information location. But they came to an agreement with the new management in July of 2005 as to how the Walt Disney Company was going to move forward, and that's why the website was closed down. I just thought it was quite interesting that there was this website all these years ago, and obviously Disney at the moment, if anybody's aware of the financials, and next week we'll be having their quarterly report come out, it's not looking as rosy as it once did for Disney, let's put it that way. I just thought it was slightly interesting that we've had this website that I didn't really appreciate had existed, but there you go.
I find out something new all the time from you, Janie.
Well, I try.
Right, well, I have some little bits of news that sort of got my interest a little bit over the last week.
Okay.
And I'm going to read the headline as a bit of an explosive headline, a bit like clickbait.
Ooh, okay.
Squirrel shuts carousel of progress. The killer squirrel invaded the 1940s scene, and the ride had to be closed so the wee beastie could be removed.
Killer squirrel.
Yeah. It was so cute. I don't know if you saw the little bit of video on socials, climbing down the partition. It was so sweet.
Yeah. Well, he obviously went in there for a bit of aircon, didn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we all do?
He was having a little bit of a nap and all these people started singing at him.
Yeah. How dare we and the animatronics disturb his slumber?
He needs to go find someone else to hoard his nuts now. Another piece of news.
Yes.
Walt the Dreamer ornament has appeared on Shop Disney. So many eons ago, we had the announcement of this statue was going to be installed at Dreamer's Point at Epcot. Well, you can now buy a very scaled down model as a Christmas tree ornament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So at least it gives us hope that at one point this millennia, we will see this statue being put into place at Dreamer's Point in Epcot.
Yeah, it does feel the wrong way around though, doesn't it? You think the statue would be in first and then they would release the ornament to mark its instalment, not the other way around.
Yeah, I know. But we'll see. They've not done so well on these ornament recently. There was a Club 33 tiki mug that was released the other day, and it was meant to be a homage to Walt, and it was like, really?
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate to have one of the Club 33 tiki mugs, and I'm very grateful it's of a tiki person, because drinking out of Walt Disney's brain just looks wrong.
Not right, is it?
No. Little bit of merch furthering on to that. For $69.99, you can get a Trader Sam's print dress.
Oh, I've not seen that.
You've not seen this? Well,
No.
Jane, shall I tantalise you with the details of this amazing dress?
Go on then.
The print is fab. It's very tiki-licious, but the cut and the design of it is just... It looks like a frumpy nightie with all of this sort of like string that looks like lace in the skirt, and then it has this stringed neck band around it, and it's like it's a round neck, short sleeved. No wonder it's $69.99. They've barely used any material on it.
Right, I'm going to have to look this up now. I'm intrigued by your description. Maybe not in a good way.
Yeah, not in a good way. Staying with Disneyland and a little bit more news for there. Pixar Place Hotel will be reopening.
Oh, okay.
This has been the refurb from Paradise Pier. It's had its remodel, its retheming, and oh my word, it looks bright, it looks bold, and slightly reminiscent of art and animation with the sort of OTT-ness of the Finding Nemo area, which is, they're calling it a water park. I don't technically think it could be called a water park.
Water area?
Yeah, it's all based around Nemo, Dory and Crush and other characters from Finding Nemo. The colourway in the pool area, everything is blue, yellow or white. So it's very bright, very vibrant. Kids will love it, and I imagine it might entice some people to actually staying in that hotel. It's got a new restaurant that's going to be opening called the Great Maple. Going to be probably this fall, autumn time, so that could be any time from September through November, I imagine. It's going to be a Southern Californian-based modern American eatery, and it's going to specialise in a playful take and upscale comfort food.
Okay.
So could it be a turtle shell filled with mac and cheese?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if fish will be on the menu, but with it being themed quite heavily to Finding Nemo, I would doubt it.
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So those were just a few comical bits of pieces in the news. We had a bit of a blow to the Disney community last week with the passing of the wonderful Jim Korkis, sadly passing away.
Yeah.
Just before his 73rd birthday on the 15th of August, James, as many of us would have called him Jim Patrick Korkis, was born on the 15th of August 1950 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. When he was 5, his family moved to the LA suburb of Glendale, and as a student, Disney was one of his things. One of his elementary school teachers, Mrs. Disney, was married to Walt's older brother Herbert.
Wow.
So it sort of it started him off on that pathway. He earned his master's degree and he began his professional life working as a middle school teacher, doing a bit of acting, and then he was a tour guide at Los Angeles Zoo as well, building that up. So he was always this facing front public speaker who loved to entertain people. My memories of spending time with him are just immense. I messaged him, "Hey Jim, getting married, fancy coming out?" Talking to a few Disney fans about how much we all love Disney. Yeah, he turned up. You know, who else can say they had Jim Korkis at their wedding reception? I also recall other events when, you know, our lovely friend Becky Mannion, she was going out to the States, massive fan of Jim. I arranged for Jim to go and meet her for breakfast, so she had a big surprise with that. Whenever I was in Florida, he was always out to meet with me, and I am sure, it may have been to meet with me, or it could have been to receive the Cadbury bars of chocolate that he loved to receive. He has left with us a wealth of Disney stories. Yes. Sadly, there are still incomplete books and incomplete work, and I do hope that at some point this will be put together so that everyone can still share and enjoy the work that he has done over the years. And I would like to pass out our condolences to his family and closer community that are obviously bereft without this very generous gentleman in their life.
Yeah, very unexpected. And so, you know, from your point, Michelle, at least you can say that you've had lots of memories that you've been able to share with him over the years, which you can take forward and you know, hang on to those memories. I say I wasn't particularly aware. I did look up a little bit about him, and all of his work with comic books I wasn't aware of prior to. So, yeah, I think it's very sad. But thankfully, we've got lots of his influence around us to take forward.
Yeah. Former friend of Merlin. Worked at guest relations in Epcot. You know, he had a long history until he was laid off by the Walt Disney Company in 2009. And then he, you know, basically became a prolific writer, you know, doing a lot of public speaking. And yeah, my condolences go out to his brothers Michael and Chris. And he basically had penned a bit of his own obituary, which I found out on Facebook, and it says, "There are so many books I wanted to read or reread, so many movies and television shows I wanted to see or re-see, and many food treats I wanted to enjoy again, like See's chocolates. I know God loves me, and this is part of his plan. Be happy and be kind to each other. When you think of me, I hope you smile. I loved you all and appreciated your generosity, support and hope."
Lovely, isn't it?
Absolutely wonderful sentiment. And I'd like to think he's having his bar of chocolate upstairs with Walt, with Roy, with a lot of Disney community that has gone by and passed away over the years, and they're all, you know, is probably doing research upstairs for another book.
I was just going to say, sharing lots of very interesting stories, I would imagine.
I know. Wouldn't it be great if we could just ring him up now and find out some of the stories he's working on? Up in heaven, never ceasing being a writer. Moving away. It's getting closer to that Disney trip.
It is for you, my dear. Yeah, not so long now.
I know, it's getting quite exciting. I'm totally unprepared.
Yeah, but you're unprepared compared to most other people's unprepared. It's probably quite prepared.
Well, yes, okay, it is quite prepared, but not as prepared as I feel comfortable with.
You've still got time. You've still got time. Get your Excel spreadsheet out, love. You'll be fine.
Well, my master plan was to have everything Excel spreadsheeted, and I started it last year, and I've just done bits and pieces, but it's sort of gone by the wayside, and for one reason or another, the 4 days I'm in Anaheim, I'm only so far squishing in one park day.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's going to have to be an open till close day.
Right.
So I'm going to be starting out, leaving the hotel at round about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And I did tell everyone about I'm now staying in a different hotel, didn't I? I didn't say that. I did.
Yes.
I thought I did.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't want to stay at the hotel. Ugh. No. So staying at the nice hotel at the Marriott, and I'm going to have my nice little walk up in the morning. About 20 minutes, I'll get into Disneyland, get through security, and hopefully be somewhere near the gate at opening for 8 a.m.
Yes.
The good thing about Disneyland in comparison to Walt Disney World is it does stay open on that particular day till 12 midnight.
Wow, so a nice long day for you.
So the plan is literally to get in line for something at about 10 to 12 and then be one of the last out of the park. And then the next day, the Monday, I think we're just going to sleep.
Yeah. Just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been very kindly given a voucher that I can use to get into Company D for friends and family. So if I wish to go and get an Uber up there, I can have a little bit of a wander around there as well. So that'll be fun.
Oh, nice.
But we need to try and think. I've got one day. I cannot ride every single attraction.
No.
But I can have a pretty good go. And I think we need to consider which attractions I need to prioritise over and above what's at, say, Paris or what's at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, because it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because obviously it's not that long since you were at Disney World. So you really got to use this opportunity to see what the differences are, isn't it?
Completely. Disney have thrown a few curveballs.
Why is that?
Because they think Halloween begins in August.
Yeah.
Slight digression. Oh my word, 1st of August, they're putting up Halloween in the Magic Kingdom. Oh my word, what are they thinking about?
Well, I suppose with the parties starting on the 11th, is it?
Yeah,
They've got to get the stuff out there, but
the
yeah, I know you put a little thing up,
11th.
but I know, I mean, it's a difficult one. I know that, if you are going in the summer, at least you get a chance to see and appreciate what being there at Halloween is like. But I think there's also that specialness to go, no, I'm going on a summer vacation to see summery things. I'm going to go on a fall vacation to see fall related things.
Yeah.
Not, it's quite, I always like the fact that you'd have these things scattered throughout the year because then it gave you an impetus to go at those particular times of the year rather than it just feeling like it's all thrown at you in one go.
Because we all know what the weather's like in August. It is incredibly hot, incredibly humid, and you are prone to getting a lot of thunderstorms. I think over my times of trying to get to see Mickey's Not So Scary in August, I think I've attempted 8 times, and on all but one, it rained. And if it rains, you might not get the parade, you might not get the stage show.
Yeah.
It's still humid, your chocolate melts, you're wearing a poncho, you're miserable, or try not to be miserable. But yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Curveball Disneyland. Okay, sorry, tangents. So, their Curveball is they're closing the Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
Yeah, because they're making it over for Jack Skellington. And that takes quite a while to do.
It does, yes.
So when I was thinking about where I was going to go, I had to go to Disneyland on the 13th because it's closed from the 14th.
Right.
So that has to be a priority because it is different to Disney World and Disneyland Paris. It is its own unique element.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, if we're going to be hanging around the Haunted Mansion, I'm going to be finding some beignets.
Would be rude not to.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, that's a priority.
Okay.
Now, thinking of you, because it's forever since you've been to a Disney park, what is hitting you about Disneyland itself that is one place that you need to go to as early as possible?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because to be honest, Michelle, knowing we were going to be talking about this, I went and had a look and I was quite surprised at the number of attractions that are unique to Disneyland compared to that if we're looking at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
So I was quite like, oh, actually, because, and I know there's variations between Big Thunder at, DLP compared to Disney World to Disneyland, but I was kind of like trying to think, well, what is there at Disneyland that I cannot get on at Disney World? Because there is that element, isn't there? Like, you kind of know what to expect if it's the same ride but in a similar guise. So of course, all my things that where I'm going to go. All my things are kind of old school, are very traditional.
You're hitting Fantasyland then.
I kind of am, yeah. Because at the end of the day, where else am I going to ride Mr. Toad?
You've got your Mr. Toad, you've got Snow White, you've got Pinocchio,
Alice in Wonderland,
you've got Peter Pan, and if you're there, you've got to do Storybook Canal Boats.
Exactly, Casey Jr. There's so many little bits.
Whoa, we're not finished.
Okay.
It's a small world.
Well, yeah, but again, I was trying to look at things that there's not another version of, and that's what kind of struck me, that element of there are these very, unique rides that you cannot do another version of elsewhere, which was pleasantly surprising to me, if that makes sense, because there's an element of, you think, oh yeah, well, each park is going to have not the carbon copies, but it's going to be, take all of these and bump them down there, but we'll put a different twist on it.
But the thing is with Disneyland, Jane, that Fantasyland is cram-packed with attractions.
Yeah. So it becomes quite a... Yes, I think my focus would have to be around that area because there's so much in there that there are not versions of over in Disney World.
Probably going to leave the Mad Tea Party.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be doing that.
No. Well, I'm actually quite surprised by that because I thought you'd be hairdtailing it over to Galaxy's Edge.
Well, again, because it's already there in Disney World. I know I've not done Galaxy's Edge. So, yeah, from that point of view, if I was going out to Disneyland, then it would be a focus. But looking at it purely as to, the differences between the two resorts, I know that obviously Galaxy's Edge is part of Disneyland where it's not part of Magic Kingdom. But yeah, it's that, it comes down to what you're going to make the most of your day with, isn't it? Because is Galaxy's Edge going to be, long queue waits, or are you going to do what you suggest, Michelle, by leaving, say Rise until the very end of the night and hope you can get in at the end, or do you make it a priority?
You see, I just feel Galaxy's Edge is beautiful on a night. I really do think it is stunning. And for me, I'd be probably trying to persuade the hubster to leave it till later, as you suggest. Get fireworks over with, get the park empty, go do Smuggler's Run, then go on to Rise, get that done, and then he will leave the park with a big grin.
Yeah.
But I will say that there are two things that I do need to accomplish in Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
A black calf coffee.
Right.
And a Ronto wrap.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I probably may have to sort of go for a wander round during the day to get the coffee and the food, and then go back later. Because you bear in mind, I'm taking the hubster and he's not been on any of these attractions.
Right, yeah.
Last time he was in Disneyland, I think, was Christmas 2018.
Right, yeah.
And he's not done Walt Disney World version either.
Yeah, so, and I suppose, if it was me going out to Disneyland, for Simon and I, we would be in the same position because I've obviously not been out to Disney World yet and having done Galaxies there. So, yes, it would be high up on the list of things that we would like to do.
So let's think about the other classics then. You've got Pirates, you've got Big Thunder, you've got Indiana Jones.
Yeah, well, that's obviously different, isn't it? Because it's, it's the track ride rather than the stunt spectacular.
I think pretty much all those are a must.
Yeah. I mean, they become classic Disney rides, don't they? They're like, whether you're going to go to Disneyland Paris or whether you're going to go to the Far East or whether you're doing Disney World or Disneyland, there's certain ones, throw Space Mountain in there, that are quintessentially associated with Disney. And interestingly, with the exception of Indiana Jones that you mentioned there, they were all rides that were created prior to the IP coming into the script and into the scheme of things. So, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, Big Thunder, Space Mountain, they're all original rides. They're all original Imagineer ideas without the need to slap a current movie on top of something.
Yeah. Obviously, Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
And then when I leave Jungle Cruise, it's got to be Tiki Room.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing Tiki Room, I've got to go to Tropical Serenade and get a Dole Whip concoction.
Yeah.
So that there, and I haven't even begun to talk about Toontown.
Well, that's changed since you were last there as well, hasn't it?
There's still the cartoon spin, which, oh my word, the hours I have wasted in that queue. It's unreal. Seriously, Jane, it says outside 25 minutes. You're in there an hour and 45.
Yeah.
It's so painful. So, yeah, if the ride queue is quite small on that one, I will do Roger Rabbit. But the biggie, again, I've done this at Walt Disney World, but I do gather the queue is spectacular.
Yes.
Is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Exactly, that's what I've seen. I think the guys that I've got is that the ride itself there's not that much between the two, but the actual queue area is meant to be so much better at Disneyland.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything else, maybe wandering around, getting some really nice pictures. I think I now need to be sort of heading back into more central part of the park and possibly considering the Finding Nemo submarine voyage.
Yeah, what about the bobsleds?
Yeah, I've got to do the Matterhorn. Oh my word, I can't miss out those because they're unique. And if I'm going to the Matterhorn, you do know what I'll be eating.
Macaroon.
Absolutely. Jolly holiday. I've got to do it.
Yeah, which again, when we're talking about things that are unique to Disneyland, there you go.
Food is so much better. I'm not sure about Star Tours. I think it's the same. I'm not a fan of it. I suppose if it's got a short queue, which it tends to have normally,
Tends to, yeah.
I
Yeah.
probably would do it as I'm walking past, but I definitely wouldn't do Buzz Lightyear.
No, you're not a fan of Buzz Lightyear, are you?
No, I get very frustrated when I end up with a pathetic scar.
But again, it is a rehash of something that's somewhere else, isn't it? So,
True.
what about great moments with Mr. Lincoln?
Great naps with Mr. Lincoln. I'll be hitting that attraction, absolutely, Jane, just to have a mid-afternoon post-parade ponder, should we say. But it's always a short nap because the cannon always wakes me up.
But a little bit of aircon, a little bit of
aircon.
downtime, you know,
Put me
time
on
to rest your feet.
up.
Yeah, you see, we're thinking on the same lines.
Yeah, and of course, we just mentioned it there and then, the spectaculars. Because we've got the Magic Happens Parade, which is 3:30 and 6:30. So I could possibly do a 3:30 watching of the parade down in Town Square and then hop in to see Mr. Lincoln, have my nap, come out reinvigorated for some nosh.
There you go.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Then I've got the fireworks, which currently is Wondrous Journey, so I'm very excited about that. Going to see that. Got to see It's a Small World at night time. I'm just running out. I can't think of anything else I've missed out, Janie.
But there's quite a lot there to do, Michelle.
Oh my word, there is a version of The Tale of the Lion King. How could I forget that?
Well, how? Yes.
Because I've got to go and see that because it'll be amazing. Because if it's on that big stage, got to do it.
But so there's quite a lot that you need to get in there, Michelle.
I'm not going to bother with Autopia.
You know, I was gonna ask you that, but I thought that might be like swearing at you. So
Yeah, the smell, the noise, the everything. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
no.
And I really can't think of anything else. I'll possibly, get on the riverboat. That's always a nice thing. Maybe if it's not too hot, the canoes. But I've been hearing the temperature over in California is scorcheroonie.
All right, okay. What about Gadget Coaster?
Well, it is a cutie, isn't it?
Isn't it? You know, little
short
quickie.
Queue. Short queue.
Possibly.
Winnie the Pooh. Possibly.
Yeah.
I won't be doing the monorail because they've closed it,
That's down at the moment, isn't it? Yeah.
which is an attraction in itself with a one-way ticket to the Earl of Sandwich.
Yes, but I'm sure you can partake of an early sandwich on another day.
True. I need to spend every waking minute in the park getting my money's worth. And of course, when you want that sit down, what are you going to sit on, Jane? True.
You see, there's so much to do, isn't there?
I'm feeling tired already and I've only run round the park really quickly with you sat down at the computer.
Well, you know what? I think this might be the inroad to you getting this like nailed down now on your Excel spreadsheet.
Well, I do have a bit of a plan on my phone. I have written that out. So,
Okay.
yeah. I'm not quite sure on the food. We have got a breakfast reservation to go to Carnation Cafe because full-size Mickey waffle. Hello? Gotta be done.
Well, I must admit, on my little list, my notes that I'd made for the show, I had just wrote Carnation Cafe - just because.
Just because I can sit outside, have my waffle, be happy. I don't know where else we're going to eat. We're not going to book anywhere. Possibly we might go to the Plaza because I really do like their chicken dinner.
Yeah.
But of course there'll be the Gibson Girl. I'll be getting some ice cream on, my Dole Whip game and my snack game.
Monte Cristo at Cafe Orleans, maybe?
Well, they've changed it, Jenny.
Yeah.
It's now 2 pieces and still a lot of money. And to be honest, I don't really eat it all.
True. Okay.
So it's one of those things that's made for sharing.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, guys, well, that is our show number 466. I have hoped you have enjoyed us waffling on about what's up and coming over the next few weeks on my trip, talking about some news and some history. If you've got any questions for us, please get in touch at DizDreamGirls on all the socials. I gather now I'm not allowed to say it's Twitter. I've got to call it Platform X, which, okay.
But they still tweet and they still retweet. So I don't get it.
I know, it's just, anyway, rebranding. We're on all of that. Our Patreon page will be having an after show where you get exclusive audio content, bonus podcasts, and you get each week's show ahead of anybody else. And really, guys, $5 a month gets you that. It's such a good deal. Find us at patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls. Don't forget our website, disneydreamgirls.com. But until next time, it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.